gentlemen, welcome to Beaconhouse Old Students Society Boss Memorial. Beaconhouse Boss is all about building a community together. Today we have a brilliant alumna joining us who has worked with multiple MNCs, including British American Tobacco. Yet she chose to come back to the system as an exceptional educationist. Ms Maheen Shafqat, the school head of Beaconhouse Educational Complex, Islamabad. She completed her O-levels from Beaconhouse Campus, and then she continued with her A-levels, class of 1997 from Garden Town Campus. We welcome an intellectual and exceptional educationist. Ms Maheen Shafqat, welcome to Boss Memory Lane.
Maheen, let's take a trip down the memory lane. Let's hear about the fondest memory at Beaconhouse.
A lot of them are very fond, and because I spent a lot of time, and I was in different branches, so there are different memories from different branches. But one of them that I remember the most was I used to. This is in Multan. I was in Multan, Beaconhouse Multan. My dad was in the army, so we were in different Beaconhouse schools around the country. So my mom used to work in boys' branch, and I used to be in girls' branch. And my mom was the SM, I think, at that time. And she used to get off a little later, and then she used to come pick me up. So I used to be in school, probably half an hour after everybody had left. So this one day I was waiting, and like every other day at the gate, and this woman comes, and she had this tray in her hand, and she had some food. Mm-hmm. And I think it was dal and there was some roti. And it turned out that she was the guard's wife. Wow. Who was living there. And then she said, beta, have some. Thoda sa kha lo. And after that point onwards, she didn't know who I was. She didn't know who my mom was. But she used to see me wait every day. Wow. So that one day she brought in, and I used to have that food almost every day. And it was just a very nice feeling because these people don't know you, they don't know who the kids are, they don't know who the mothers are. And she didn't work for the system, her husband was the guard.
If you have to describe your school life in 3 words, what would that be and why?
Exciting, right. Because everything was very new. And because my dad was in the army, we moved a lot.
Right.
So every other year was a new school and new friends and new everything. So it was very exciting. And I think it was more like a family and a home. Mm-hmm. My student life, I felt it was just another home for me because I knew everybody, and I was in the school late hours and would often meet people. I've met probably people from way before who are not even there, probably not even in the world now. Who worked with the system and gave a lot of their time and their dedication to it. So I think one of the best that I think family and home is that was my student life.
Mine, as they say that at school you make friends for life. Would you like to name a few?
I can name one from each campus that might. So I had a friend, and because I've gotten in touch with all of them after. I'm very happy with the boss initiative.
Thank you.
But it came a little late. So we had Facebook and all of this. So have been in touch with most of the people that I knew back then, and we found each other some way or the other. Mm-hmm. So in Multan, I had a friend called Itrat, and Itrat Sayyida, I think, and there was one friend, Ayman. So these 2 friends I remember, still in touch with them on Facebook. Haven't met them, but of course that Facebook doesn't make that happen. From Lahore, I'm in touch with most of them. From Defence Campus, I'm in touch with almost all of them. We were a co-ed batch, and in our time there was only one section of Cambridge.
Okay.
2-3 sections of metric, and so we were very close to each other, all of us, the girls and the boys. So I'm in touch with almost all of them. I don't know anybody who's with the system now, who's from my batch. Most of them are abroad. Sadia Hassan, she was also the head girl. Ali Zafar was in metric, my batchmate.
All right.
And
Okay.
so I know the few people who I can name. Otherwise, I'm in touch with all of them, so I
Oh,
can
wow.
name all of them. But you said mention.
Ah, right.
No,
Okay. So please download the Beacon House Boss app and stay connected. As Beacon House is all about building a community together, would you like to name your teachers?
So one of the teachers that I can never forget. She's been my mentor. Whatever I've learned, and my entry into Beacon House was her. So it's Ms. Rakshanda Gilani.
All
She
right.
was my math teacher in when I was in Peshawar Road campus. This is grade 9.
Right.
O levels. I started O levels in Peshawar Road, and then my father got posted, so we moved to Lahore. Rakshanda Gilani just joined, and she was just this. She changed everybody's perspective about math. So I was always fond of math, but whatever I know, I'm a math teacher when I started off. So my entire, whatever I know, but
For the love of numbers and
Yes.
the mathematics is
but
all
it was
because
it was how she made it happen. That's how she taught. It wasn't that she taught math. Math I always liked, but it's how she taught, and she was just very inspiring, very, very inspiring.
What sort of student you were? Which group you were? Nerds or shararti bache? So what was
I think
it like?
I was kind of shararti also, but more towards the teacher's pet side.
Okay.
So वो शरारती में ये था कि I was always, because I was a very, very active child. So I was always up to something. But because my mom was with the system,
Right.
so everything that happened in school would go as a call to her.
Right now we have mom working there, and
Mom's
then
retired now.
mom's retired. Then it's you, and then your siblings also.
I have 2 siblings. Both
Right.
of them are Beaconites. My
Right.
brother did his O levels from Defence Campus with me. He was 2 years younger than me, and he did his A levels from Agla Campus. And my sister did her O levels from Agla Campus.
Right. So PSS
She's
family,
about-
and now you're parent also.
Yes, as a
So-
parent, my children.
3 generations.
Yes, 3 generations. My sons are now in college. They're both Beaconites,
Wow.
and my daughter is still with Beaconites. She's still studying Beaconites.
जब siblings से comparison होता था?
मैं सबसे अच्छी थी.
All right.
सॉरी, अम्मी अब्बू की फोकस पढ़ाई था, तो पढ़ाई में मैं सबसे.
Right. Which aspect of your school life you miss now?
I think the part where we don't realize as kids, but the part where we're carefree,
All right.
where we don't have to. I mean, I don't remember how my lunch was packed, or I just had lunch in my bag. And I don't remember how it was arranged to pick me up or drop me, but it had happened. The only thing I had to do was wake up in the morning, wear
Right.
my uniform, and go to school. And I think children nowadays don't realize that that's a blessing,
That's
because
blessing.
when life happens, it becomes a lot of responsibility. I think that's the element that I miss.
Were you part of extracurricular activities also?
Yes, I've always.
And how's that experience?
I think the one thing the Beacon House has always been about is extracurricular, including academics. Academics has always been a focus, but extracurricular was always a focus. So I was into a lot of, I was very sporty, so yes, I used to play basketball, but I was into a lot of music. It's a lot of music activities. Arts, not so much, but a lot of music and a lot of sports.
Mine, what about your, what is one thing about your profession which you really love?
So I look back at a lot of things, and because I've been with the corporate sector as well, and I've never gone back. So I think the best thing is being around children.
Oh, wow.
I think, just the fact that you make such a big difference in their life, which we don't realize on a daily basis. But, when you interact with them, just getting a small smile from one of the students, I think my energy at school comes from my interaction with students. So that's the best thing.
And that's the best energy ever. Absolutely. That's so pure true. Right. Mine, sometimes in our life, we get to hear a few words which stay with us and we actually follow them. What were those words and said to you by whom? Would you like to share with us?
I think it was Ms. Rakshanda Gilani then too. Because when I joined Beacon House, I joined her team. And I told her, I said, I've not done education. I don't know education.
Right.
And she said, this is the first and the last time that I'm hearing you say this. There's nothing that we don't know or we can't learn.
Wow.
And it's something that I keep telling people now also. And there's no end to learning. And there'll always be a time when you might have to unlearn and then learn again. But it's always, I think God has made us in a way that we can learn. And that's what she told me. And after that, I have been with the system for so long. I've grown into different positions, different schools, different systems within the system.
True.
And I've seen that there's nothing you can't learn.
Wow. Since Beaconhouse is in 7 countries in the world, and you have been part of Muscat, how was that experience?
I think the value that Beaconhouse, the entire Beaconhouse value is shared across regions, and that's the best thing. I mean, when you work in another, when I worked at Muscat, I never felt that this was a different place.
Right.
Because when you were in school, it was exactly the same value system, the same way of working. Everybody there would have the same values as Beaconhouse staff here or people here or the communities here.
Ms Maheen, in the end, pearls of wisdom for the young minds of Beaconhouse school system across the globe.
I think the most important thing that we don't realize today, children don't realize today, it's the only system that will give them everything they need, and they need to as a stepping stone for their next life. So when you go to college, there's so many things that people will ask you for that you will not get from home, you will not get from your neighbors, but you will get from Beaconhouse because it provides you a complete package. And when as a school head also, I feel that there's so many opportunities that we provide to the children. There's so many learning opportunities that we provide. And the system is so strong, academically, extracurricular wise, everything. We're so updated as a system that there's nothing new that comes in that we don't tap into.
True.
So it is something that the children today studying at Beaconhouse should really tap. They should come to us and they should squeeze it out of the system and get it for themselves, because there's so much of opportunity to learn in Beaconhouse, and there's so much opportunity to build a profile that will help them later on. And I keep telling my children, which I was a alums graduate and I was interviewing for an MNC, and they asked me, and everything. I mean, I had a master's degree, I had a good result, everything. No. The one question that they turned around and asked me first was, what was your O-levels result? And I looked at it and I said, why would they care about my O-levels result?
I've done MBA and what not.
But it mattered. And I asked him, I said, why are you asking me? It's just ages ago and I have so much after that to show. And he said, it just shows us, one, where you've schooled from, where your schooling is from. And secondly, it just shows us how disciplined and academically strong you were, which would translate into some kind of professional work ethics.
Wow.
So it is important. Our OA levels results get us into good universities. So maybe this is the time when we should work the hardest.
Absolutely.
And if we're studying at Beaconhouse, I think that's a privilege everybody should really, really appreciate.
Absolutely. On this positive note, Ms Maheen, we end our Beaconhouse Boss Memory Lane. Thank you so much.
Beaconhouse Old Student Society, BOSS, building a community together.